Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
Turn this off.
Hope everybody's having a good weekend.
Yes.
We're just
Happy Sunday.
Hopefully
everybody's ready for their week.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Sunday's like the unwind.
Yeah.
Before.
It is. It's even for us. Yeah. Even though we don't have like the traditional, go clock in somewhere, we still have that like unwind.
I like Sunday nights to be chill.
Yeah. What are you gonna do tonight?
Chill.
What are we gonna do?
Put on. I don't know.
What are we gonna do?
Just.
Oh my gosh. So Shannon and Eric from Miller from Las Vegas. If you guys come on, say hi and give it a minute. Let people jump on.
Yeah, we had a nice little weekend.
We did.
We actually went yesterday to something called Green Fest in Las Vegas, which is a sustainable lifestyle event. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had fun. We got to walk around and meet other people, and actually I was surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised, but there was some dealerships that had cars there that I was like, those are gas guzzlers. I'm not really sure why they're here, but what are you going to do?
Hi, Lauren. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Debbie. Hope you guys are doing well.
We were lucky enough to be with Lauren, the actual Lauren Garrison yesterday as well. It was really cool. She signed an autograph for me. It was really exciting.
She signed his shirt. It was really good. All right, should we get started?
Sure.
Let's get started.
Right.
So what are we talking about today? We have like all this stuff. We were like in it earlier and going back and forth, and we wrote like a bunch of notes, whatever.
So what are we talking about? No, I'm just kidding. So we're talking about what stops us in life.
Right.
So we've all had those experiences. Something comes up, completely throws a whirlwind at you. I mean, it could be something as simple as, morning traffic, or I've never experienced this, but your heel breaks off your shoe or something. I don't know. Your dress doesn't. I don't know what I'm thinking about women's clothing. Anyway, you have something that derails either your day, whether it be small or big, and what do you do when that happens? What
about life in general? Because I want to go like bigger picture on it, and I want to talk about, obviously you have it gets really stressful at work, and you're not enjoying the people that are around you, or there's this big conflict in work, or you're frustrated with kids, or there's things going on with school or whatever, and you just feel like it's taking time away from what your goals and your dreams are, or financial burdens, or like an actual tragedy, somebody dies, or there's a major medical issue, or there's a massive car accident, or something happens, and you feel like you just kind of fall off with your goals and really where you were driving your life. And what do we do with that, and where do we usually find ourselves, and what can we do instead of kind of hiding? Because I think that's what we usually do.
Right. So it goes back, actually, we kind of skipped over, but where we're talking in terms of goals. So we all have goals in life, whether we know them or not, whether we write them down, or whether we have them on a vision board or a reality board, whatever. We all have goals. And do we allow things that happen in our lives, whether big or small, do we allow them to derail us? And unfortunately, with what we do, we see it a lot. In the space of what we do in terms of fitness and health and nutrition, we tend to see people, it could be a tiny thing, and whether this is self-sabotage, I don't know, but it could be a small event. Something happens, they have a cold, and next thing you know, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's done.
I'm going to take a break for a while, and I'm going to come back to it after the holidays.
Right.
Why? And I'm always, I get it. People get into that mode, and it's frustrating, or they'd rather focus on other things. But the reality of it is, if you stop, you are stopping. It's not a break. You literally lose. And it's so funny. We were on a call earlier, and this was the topic of conversation: is you lose the momentum into what you were trying to achieve.
Right.
And so, is it worth it? Is it worth it to you, or was it really a goal to begin with? Because if it was really a goal, would you just drop it like that?
Right. And I'm sure this comes as no surprise to anybody, but it's just something that has to be said. Life is never going to stop. Ever. Things are never going to stop happening. Ever. None of us are going to float through life without any adversity, whether big or small. It's just not going to happen. So we have to come to the realization This is part of life, these ups and downs. You know, think of it as you're going on a hike to Red Rock, whatever. there's switchbacks, and there's steep parts, and there's level parts, and there's downgrades. Like, they're all going to happen. It's inevitable.
Right. There's peaks and valleys
Right.
through life. Like, it's just
And
going to happen.
And they're never going to stop coming.
Never.
Never going to stop coming.
Never.
Like, we hear people always say, well, when things calm down, or when I get past this, there's going to be something else right around the corner, because that's how life works.
Right.
So how do you deal with those things? And if there's a goal that you want, how do you deal with it? So your goal could be as simple as an educational goal, a financial goal, a weight goal, I don't know, did I say financial already?
Doesn't matter. Say
Whatever.
it again.
Financial. It could be any goal. But if it's important to you, what do you do when life happens? Because life is going to happen.
Right. And I think for me, and I'll kind of reference myself a little bit, in the past, I really got in my head a lot. We end up telling these stories. Something happens, or there's a tragedy, and all of a sudden there's this huge story about what's to come. And, some of the things that I think that we hear all the time is, when it rains, it pours.
Or things happen in threes.
Right. And so, we have this mentality of, when something little happens, we expect, okay, well, more and more and more is going to happen. So I'm just going to give up right now.
Take a break.
Let's just take a break. That's it. I'm going to come back later, and let's see, and I'll see if my goals are worth it later.
Let's put our goals on pause, even though life is not on pause.
Right.
Like, life's going to continue to go, days continue to pass, and time goes faster than we think, and suddenly the goals which we had are further out of reach instead of being closer.
Right. And what can be even more frustrating than that is that you take a break, and then you have other people in your life that had their goals, and they've had things happen, but they chose to move forward. Even when they're in that valley, or they're in that downgrade, they chose to still move forward. And when you decided to jump back in, all of a sudden these people are ahead of you. And it's like, well, what the heck? Well, because they never stopped. Because they chose that they were going to be consistent, and they were going to keep moving forward no matter what was going on in life. And so I think one of the really beneficial things for me, and kind of through my growth and journey, has been really stopping. And when I get into those modes of, I feel like something's happening, and I feel like there's this little bump, or even if it's something big, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm coming down, is I stop and analyze really the internal story that I'm telling. What am I saying about this situation? And is it true? So we talk about our struggle, and we talk about, okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, so we have a conflict with a coworker, and all of a sudden inside we're saying, oh, they're going to say something to my boss, and then my boss is going to call me in, and then I'm going to get written up, or this and this and this is going to happen, or it's going to ruin my reputation. I'm never going to get that promotion. Now all of a sudden it's this huge, huge thing. So when you feel that story coming on, stop and think, is this true? And this has been really huge for me. Is this true? I've been reading a book. It's amazing. Is it true?
The book's called Is It True?
No. But that question comes up. Is it true? Is it a reality? Like, is it actually real? Or is it a thought and you're just choosing to believe it? Not all your thoughts are real.
Most of them aren't.
Yeah, mass majority of them aren't.
Most of them aren't real.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Hi, Eden and Crystal, by the way.
Hi, guys.
Go, babe.
I'm trying to think of the next point I wanted to say. Okay, so.
There you go. There it is.
Now, most things in life are small, and we make them pretty large, right? Like again, something as simple as traffic, you're going to be late for your appointment, and our entire day is turned off.
And we freak out.
Yeah, and so what's the point? The day's over. Day's ruined.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect, because you've created a whole reality out of it.
But obviously there are things in life that are massive. And one thing, obviously, the death of a loved one. Right. These things, unfortunately, again, inevitable. Whether we like to think about these things or not, it's kind of morbid. I apologize, but we're all going to lose loved ones. We're all going to lose our parents. It happens, and it's how do we recover from that? How do we still stay true to the goals we have? How do we move on? Like what do we do?
Right.
So what do we do?
So and I kind of go back into really analyzing, number one, your internal part. Like, you do need to take a step back during those tragedies, and you should allow yourself that time to really kind of like work on yourself and work on that hurt part. But and if we talk about death of a loved one, when you really look at it, and we had this conversation, and I said, if something were to happen to me, the last thing that I would want is for you to crumble. I would want him to be happy. I would want him to push forward. I would want him to succeed and to have the life that he always dreamed of. And, and I even told him, I would want you to fall in love again if that's what you did, because it doesn't take away from what we had. And you being happy doesn't take away from that person or the relationship or whatever. It doesn't take away from that. But it does show something about you. And and to me, I think that you're giving more gratitude into that relationship and how important that was to keep moving forward and to keep pursuing your goals and your hopes and your aspirations.
Right. I think to honor, again, we're talking about death, but to honor that person's life, to take the time to honor their lives. We focus a lot on death. We focus on the end part of life, but we should focus on their life and honor them. And I think to stop life for a prolonged period of time, that's a disservice to that loved one. That's a disservice because that's not what they would want. So I think it is a time of reflection, but it's also our goals don't change.
Right.
Your goals don't change, and to continue the pursuit of your goals, again, does not disrespect the passing of that person, or again, whatever tragedy it is. It's to moving forward. I think at any moment, anything that comes to your life is the best thing you can do.
Right.
Like forward progress is always the best.
Right. And I kind of relate it into, and we've had some situations actually this past week that we have seen this happen. And I do relate it to a story. We have some good friends of ours that, lost their son, and to watch them see them go, they went through that struggle and that terrible loss. I can't even fathom it. But to see the people that they are now and to see them impacting lives every single day and still striving to make an impact on the world and create freedom for their family is so inspiring. And so when you take those situations and you kind of take the time to refocus and get back and say, okay, so this was my original goal. This is really what I wanted to achieve in my life. Has this tragedy, does that change it for me? If the answer is no, then it's time to keep moving. Keep moving forward. Mm-hmm. And one thing that we hear all the time and that I like to share too is every single day, take one step forward in your life. One step forward, do something to get closer to your goal.
Right. I just want to kind of an amazing quote that I heard actually this evening that I wanted to share. So if you're interested, you'll do what's convenient. But if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. And that's if you're committed to your goal, because when you set a goal, guys, that's a commitment to yourself. Unless it's a willy-nilly tiny thing. But if you set a goal, again, let's say you want to reach a financial pinnacle. Let's say you want to reach a certain educational level. Let's say you want to, whatever your goal might be. If that's truly a goal, that's a commitment to yourself. And if that commitment is real, you do whatever it takes to get there, no matter what pops up in life, because life is going to happen. Again, I'll keep saying it throughout this live. Life is going to happen no matter what. But that commitment to yourself, if it's truly important, you have to keep it. You have to keep moving forward, even if it's small. Like Shannon said, every single day. Again, if it's a real tragedy, still get up the next day and do something, even if it's small, obviously, but keep moving forward towards that goal. You owe it to yourself. It's a commitment.
Right. And we always say that small step equals big changes. And it's true. We even look at our situation, and these small steps gradually have gotten us here. And if we keep doing this, I can see the vision of where we're going to be in a year and 2 years and 3 years and 5 years and 10 years.
But if you let every single hiccup stop you, forget it. Your goals and your dreams. Be stagnant. Your goals and dreams end up so far out of reach. Think about your life. Think about your days. Think about the hecticness of life these days. There are so many things to distract us.
Right.
And again, we heard the great analogy today. You're driving on the road. You can get into the express lane, But if you pay attention to all the things around you, oh, that guy's on their cell phone, oh, there's an accident over
Right,
there.
and I gotta pull off for this.
There's
and I gotta
so
do that.
many distractions, but if you keep forward, you keep looking forward and keep moving, just keep moving.
Right. And one thing that we've been told and we've shared with people that we work with is, you know, when life happens, you can pivot. You can still have the same goal. You want to go to the same place, but you just have to pivot a little bit from the original plan that we all have, you know, and it's kind of like a GPS, just recalculating. You're going to the same destination. You may just go a little bit different of a route than you had anticipated to begin with. Yeah, you're just still moving though.
Yeah.
You're still moving.
Yeah. And I think one of the best kind of principles or best piece of advice I'd like to give, you know, to people who, again, any struggle, big, small, and I kind of wrote it down. I said, even at your worst, when things are at your worst, when you feel your worst, whatever your thoughts, whatever story you're telling yourself, do something that moves your life forward, or helping to move someone else's life forward. Guys, you have no idea what that does. Impact someone, and it could be as simple as a smile. It could be simple as holding a door for, you know, a mom with a child. Like, it's so simple, but you'll be amazed at how much that uplifts you.
And it's funny because today I was kind of a little bit funky today, and we were in the gym and we were just, you know, you're kind of in it, whatever. And there was this guy working on a machine across from us. I didn't even say anything to you, but we were in between, and the guy, you know, got up and he looked dead in the eye and gave me like this genuine smile, like, nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. And I was like, oh, that was nice. And just that person doing that for me, honestly, it changed my state. It made me feel good that somebody else is taking the time and really recognizing me and seeing me, like actually seeing me, you know? And so little things like that, just do something, anything for you or for somebody else. But I'll tell you what, doing something for somebody else, I feel like that lifts you way higher than doing something for yourself. Right. It really does. And I think another valuable thing too is really, when you're in those moments, okay, you're in those valleys, all right, and we're trying to recalculate, we're pivoting, we're trying to figure out how to get us back on track, surround yourself with people that are thriving. Don't go to the people that you know are going to sit and, bitch with you, right?
Yep.
And complain with you about all the crap that's going on. Those people are not the ones that you need, because they're not going to help you. Okay, let those people go. Those are not the people that we turn to. You know, we know those people in our life. Those are not the people we go to when we're having a day. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I think that that's really, really important, is surround yourself with people that are thriving, people that are going to lift you up. Don't go to the people that are going to complain. You know those people. We all have a million of them.
Right, and it's also, we have that in our head usually. You know, we have enough of that. We have enough of the negative talk.
Yes.
We can do it enough for ourselves. We don't need
true.
more of it. We don't need to be enabled in our negative thinking, especially when something goes wrong. We need to immerse ourselves in just constant positivity. That's what we need to do. But, you know, it's funny. We were talking before, and we were talking about, you know, well, we were thinking about the ultimate tragedy that everyone's familiar with, you know, and what do we do? And who hasn't experienced this, guys, when you're in high school?
Oh.
And you're in love, right?
Oh, my God.
And you're in love.
And I'm like,
and then
I'm breaking up with you.
And then you get that note after third period.
Here you go, Eric.
It's over. It's over. It's been 3 days. It was amazing.
Do you guys remember that?
Do you remember that feeling? do you remember how?
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I really thought, I was like, am I gonna feel this way forever?
Right. It's terrible. And I remember, it's never gonna go away. Life is never gonna be the same. And I know it's kind of goofy, but
it's true.
It's true. We still do it.
We still
do it as adults, and we do it over minutia. But honestly, it's going to go away. Even something as big as the death of a loved one, it's going to get better.
Right.
Life is going to continue to move. You are going to get better. You're going to survive. But are you going to survive?
Or are you going to thrive?
Or are you going to thrive?
That's up to you.
And that's it. That depends on how true you are and how committed you are to your goals. Because we have to continue to progress forward, and that's what life's about. And guys, like I said, life is not going to stop. It's going to keep coming at you.
And you only have one.
One.
You have one.
It's not a
at least
run.
that's what we know. Anyways,
not
I think.
A practice run.
I don't know. It's not.
Not a drill.
You just got to go for it, you guys.
Right. So, you know, guys, if you don't know what your goals are, first off, setting them. would be good. So writing them down, very important. Reality board, vision boards, or just writing down, I want to do this, I want to do that. Knowing your goals, and then being prepared that life is going to happen, and having the mindset when life happens, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for coming on. Did I say hi? Hi, Crystal. I'm looking at Lawrence. Right. All right, you guys.
We love you guys. Thanks
Love
for tuning in and joining us. If you found value in this, you have anybody in your life who can use a little bit of this in their lives, please share it. But thank you for joining us.
Love you.
Good night.
Bye.